Am I good enough? Am I good enough? What a relevant question for this week. Wow, huh? Who knew? I am so prophetic. Anyway, am I good enough? And the reason that I asked that was twofold. One is I'm starting a new project, and there are some new things to it that I'm not used to. And it makes me look at other people who have been doing it for 100,000 years and say, I'm not as good as them. Am I good enough to do this? But more importantly, something happened this week. My daughter Kayla is 17 years old, and she is applying to colleges now. She's really into art. She's been taking AP art classes in high school. She's a senior, and she's applying to colleges to go to school there next fall. So she's applying to, I'm just going to ring off some names. You may or may not know them. Most of them are in New York City, except for one. You'll know the one. So there's SVA, FIT, Pratt, Parsons, and the school in Rhode Island. That's the one that's not New York. Hint. SVA, the School of Visual Arts, had a thing where she could do a non-binding early admission thing if she wanted to, early application. And so we did that. And they got back to her within a week and said, hey, congratulations, we'd love for you to come to our school. So this was a good thing because up until that point, she was applying to these schools and she was second guessing the whole time. Am I good enough? Am I going to get in these schools? You think any of them will accept me? And I knew, I know she's great. You know, she's really, really good. I was like, you're a shoo-in. You're going to get in all five. Don't worry about it. But she didn't know that. So she got in. And she was really excited about it. Now, the funny thing is, when I was going to art school, I went to CW Post in Long Island. And when I was going to art school, right at the end, we got our entire portfolio together, and we were doing our portfolio review class. And we went to SVA in New York City, the School of Visual Arts. Now, at the time, I don't know if everybody in the world thinks this, but to us at Post, the School of Visual Arts was like the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, right? Those kids were amazing. So we were going there for their professors to review our portfolios and tell us what they thought. So while we were there, we were hanging out with some kids that went to SVA, and we were looking at their portfolios. And oh my God, all of a sudden, we just felt like we're like in kindergarten with finger paints and stuff. And these kids had this amazing stuff. And it was just unbelievable. There's my son running over my head. Anyway, so it was really interesting to me because I remembered feeling, am I good enough back then at this time? And here my daughter got in this school, was accepted to this school. And it's her backup school. She doesn't even want to go there. That was her backup one. She wants to go to FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology, and also in New York City. I think they're actually like around the block from each other or something. But it's her backup school, and she got in. And on a scholarship, like they offered her all this money too to come. And I was just like, wow, you know? So the things that you think, it's like, I didn't even apply there, but you think to yourself, and you limit yourself because you think, am I good enough for that? I don't know. Maybe I'll just play it safe and do this other thing. You know, I'll do it a little bit more my speed, you know, or what we consider my speed to be. So I think that am I good enough, that question really comes from too much comparison, because we compare ourselves to other people. And we do this in everything in life, not just as artists, right? We do it in everything. You look at your neighbors and they have a nicer car than you and you're like, am I good enough, right? Or this one has a this or that one has a that, right? And God forbid you look at Facebook or Instagram or anything and you just feel like you're the biggest loser in the world because everybody else is vacationing on their yacht somehow. I don't know how they do it, but they are. And so, you know, when you're doing a thing and you look at other people who are doing the thing too, you're always going to find somebody who's doing it better than you, who's more famous than you, who's richer than you at it, who's got more experience at it, who's got more accolades, who has 100,000 more fans than you do. Always. You're always going to find somebody, no matter what level you get to. There's always going to be somebody who seemingly has it better than you going like this at you, right? So stop doing that, because it drives you crazy. It really does. It just drives you crazy. And I learned over the years that there are a lot of things you can do to overcome this or to work on it or stuff. But here's the one thing that has worked for me is I have just worked on developing my own style. In whatever thing that I am doing, I just decided I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to draw this my way. I'm going to design things my way. I come up with my own process for it. That's step one. And step two is I trust that process. I trust that I am going to make this thing that only I can do in this way, which means that I am the absolute best person at doing it this way, right? And it works for me. I don't know if that'll work for everybody. It's just that something that sort of came up for me because I hit this wall again. As you know, I've said I'm starting working on this comic book project. And the comic book is kind of step one on some things that I want to do with it. I have a vision for where I want this whole thing to go, but it starts with the comic book. And the first thing I did when I was looking at it, it was like, am I a good enough illustrator? Can I draw well enough, And I'm kind of rusty at it, and I haven't done it in a long time. And I was starting to, and I've seen comic books, obviously, right? So you look at other people's artwork and you're just like, I can't draw like that. I can't draw like this guy. I can't draw like that guy. And you don't have to. You don't have to paint like somebody else. You don't have to make your art like anybody else. You don't have to do, and forget about, even if it's not about art, you don't have to raise your kids like anybody else. You don't have to live in the same kind of house as anybody else. You just have to do the thing that makes you happy and that you're competent in, So when I was looking at this comic book project, I said to myself, well, what illustration style am I competent in? I wouldn't want to do it to make it look like this person's book because I don't even like drawing like that. It's too meticulous. I'm not like a meticulous details in the drawing person. I'm more of a get the lines all over the place and the shape kind of looks like the thing, And if you look at comic books, there are plenty of people who draw really abstractly, and there are plenty of people who are so meticulous, So I'm not even going to try to make it look like that. I'm just going to make it look like my style. And once I kind of hit on that, that's when I came up with that Fuel character that I designed and I put in the group and I showed you guys a while back. And I like it. I'm like, I like this. And I don't think that anybody could do it the way that I do it because it's just got to be like, it's done. I do it. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting there for 12 hours to make one panel on one page. It's ridiculous. You can't do that. So I just try to be me and do my thing, and I create a league of my own. And then I'm good enough. So, all right, I hear the clicking from comments. So I'm sure you guys have things to add to this, and I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to. So I said hi to all of you, and Stephanie is here, and Bobby's here, and Arnie is here. What's up, man? Hey, Bobby. He said, I'm saying what you said. Hey, Arnie is your name. Your name is not Bobby. Robin says, finally, yay. And Danielle says, hi. Hi, guys. So everybody's here. And what do we got? So Robin says, hopefully she will get a scholarship money. That could take a little bit of the load off you. Yeah, they did offer her a scholarship. But like I said, that's it's not even her first choice. The FIT one is her first choice. And the nice thing is that's SUNY, State of New York, so a State University of New York, so SUNY, and so it's a lot cheaper. But that's neither here nor there. I want her to go where she wants to go, but she really is into FIT. We visited there a while back. She loved it. She was just like, she loves the city. I could see her living in the city as a young adult. She'd be amazing there. If she doesn't, it would be okay too, but it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice. Robin says, just do it and do it your own way. Yes, absolutely. See, I know what you were talking about. And Ray is here. Hello, Ray. You have to learn that the universe is on a sliding scale. Oh, I like that. The universe is on a sliding scale. Today, this is good. Tomorrow, that is good. Today, you're out front. Tomorrow, it's the other guy. Yeah, okay. That's not what I thought you were going to say with it. Sliding scale. What did I think you were going to say with it? I don't know. I just like sliding scale. I feel like there's like you're right. I feel like there's a flow to it, Like you're always, here's what I was thinking. If you're always in this flow, right? You're always getting in that flow zone, but it doesn't mean that every day is going to be some epic, amazing victory that you could post it on Facebook and say, "Look what I did," right? But every day is a step toward a victory like that, and yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, my brain is a little. So it was snowing out, and my daughter had to work, so I drove her, and then I stayed there because they were only going to be open for a little while. And so I stayed there, and then she came out about an hour or two later, and then we drove home. And that's when the snow really started coming down, and I realized, oh man, if I'm stuck driving, I might not get home in time to do this. And then as soon as I posted that, she came out like a half an hour earlier than I expected, and we zipped home. So here I am. And Robin says, and it will be okay, and even more than okay. Okay. Kelly is here with a very short comment. I'm very disappointed. I was expecting a much longer comment from you. Yes, only I can do this specific thing in this specific way. Only use comparison to others as inspiration, not a measure of good enough. Oh, I like that too. Yeah, right. We can definitely look to others for inspiration. In fact, I've been watching a YouTube video, several videos a day, like at night, for a couple weeks now, and it's this guy. I just found it. I'm so happy, where he like breaks down how to make comic book pages correctly, and there's so much that goes into it. It's ridiculous. I didn't know, and I'm so glad I've been watching them, and it's just it's helped me to create my process for the writing that I'm doing, for the story that I'm doing. Because I realized that I just had this natural flow to how I wrote the story out. And then because I learned, like, okay, there's a story that you write for say a script for a video, but a video is linear. It's like if one scene is a minute and a half long and the next scene is 40 seconds long, that doesn't matter because people just sit there and watch it. But in a comic book, it opens on a spread of paper, and if there's like a cliffhanger or a surprise, you don't want it right in the middle of the page, because when somebody turns that page, they're going to see the surprise before they read the thing that builds up to the surprise. So you always want the build up to the surprise to end at the bottom of the last of the page, so that they have to flip the page to see the surprise is this, right? And then you want to do that on every spread. So I was like, wow, I never considered that before, because you don't do that in video. You just write the thing and then surprise whenever it is, And so yeah, it was really interesting to see what goes into working the panels so that you can get the surprises and the woos at the right moment, and according to when the pages are being turned. Where was I? I read that. And Stephanie, hi, says, this resonates with me big time. Probably something I said before, not the comic book thing. I'm in the process of creating something bigger than anything I've attempted in my entrepreneurial journey. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I like that. I always feel that way, and it's exciting. I have to tell you, I have been doing the work I've been doing, and I'm at a point now where I feel like I am just waking up going like this. I know something big is going to happen. Like, the universe is going to surprise me with something really epic, and my job is just to wake up every day and do the work. And I've been doing it, and it's like palpable to me now that I'm doing my part, and I know that I am, and I feel really, really good about it. It's like, woo, where's the thing? Something's happening. But you know what? I'm not doing is I'm not going, where's the thing? I need the thing. I'm so upset that the thing's not here yet. I'm just like, well, if it's here today, great. If it's here tomorrow, great. I'm going to go do my thing. And it's so freeing. It just feels so good. And I have you guys to thank for that, because you helped me to work through all of this stuff. So thank you. Kelly says, isn't it crazy how profound it is just to accept that we are unique and still valid? Liberating, actually. Yeah, the unique part, right? Like what you're talking about, what I said, that I have developed my own style and that I just trust in that style. Here's the thing about that too. If you're applying this to art, great. If you're applying it to business, same principle. And even if you're applying it to, but anything else that works, but art and business are good examples because we're talking about audiences as well in both things. If you create art, you probably want people to see it or hear it or look at it or touch it or whatever. And if you're creating a business, then you want people to know about it and give you money. So if you're trying to create something that's based on what you think will work because it works for that guy, so I'm going to make that, you're probably not going to succeed at it. Or if you do start succeeding, you're probably not going to like it for an extended period of time. The reason being, it's not authentic to you, So I could have said I'm going to make a comic book, but in order to do it, it's got to look like a Marvel comic book. So I have to draw this way, and I have to learn how to letter that way, and I have to lay the panels out this way. And I would go, I hate this. I'm not doing this anymore. And I feel like that's what happened to me with my business, is that when it comes to art, I've learned to just be me, do me, and do it my way. But when it came to business, I didn't really usually know what my way was, so I would try to do it other people's way. And then I'm just like, well, I'm not, that doesn't work for me anymore. So yeah, you're right, Kelly. Isn't it crazy how profound it is just to accept that we're unique and still valid? And the valid part is important, because a unique individual thing, that is what's valid. You trying to copy somebody else is not really valid. And it doesn't have as much value to the people who will love what you do authentically. Whew. I hope this is making sense. It's making sense in my head, but I feel like the English language is eluding me today. Stephanie says, your topics are always so on point. Glad I got to tune in tonight. Thank you. Ray says, it's okay. Your brain and my brain are only on the same wavelength once in a while. And if you've seen my comments on Robin's pictures today, well, I've been off kilter all day. I have seen some comments, and it's fun. I appreciate it. Kelly wrote a little bit more. Thank you, Kelly. It's awesome also to look at it like, hey, no one's ever done it the way I do it. How great. I get to be a pioneer. Oh, I like pioneer. Who knows how long someone else has been waiting for what would only ever come from me. A bunch more stuff. Make the comment longer, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Yeah. When you make something just completely unique from your heart, this is me here. Right? Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. This is it. It's the only one in the world. There are going to be so many people who are just going to be like, that is so amazing. But when we look at other people who have already figured that out, we see the people around them saying, that is so amazing. And we think that in order for us to be amazing, we have to contribute what they already contributed. But we don't have their heart. We have our heart. You have yours. I have mine. Right? You can't do a thing the way I do it, and I can't do a thing the way you do it. Oh, that's really good. Thank you for that comment. Kelly continues, expect great things and be patient for divine timing. Yeah, that's going back to what I was saying. I got you. Thanks. Stephanie, yes, I'm just showing up and doing my thing. Haha. Cool. Love it. Robin says, when you wake up to do the work over and over, doesn't it make it feel like you have something to wake up to? You are excited to get to it, and it's wonderful. I have to tell you, I have been getting up earlier and earlier and earlier. I was never a morning person before, and it's so interesting to me that all of a sudden now I'll wake up and I'll just be like, I'm not going back to bed. I want to get to it. It's amazing because in the past, and I think it has to do with, for me anyway, I think it has to do, for a lot of people, it's circadian rhythms and stuff. But for me in the past, it was, I just didn't really have a reason that was making me bound out of bed. Sometimes I'd be excited about a particular thing, but I didn't have a thing that was just like, wow, I'm building an empire here. And I'm so excited about it, It changes your life. Yes, it does. Amy says, there's a lot of great fun, helpful energy in this group. It's also helped me move things along on my autistic path. That's great. I'm really happy to hear that. This is a really great group. And I look forward to looking in here every day, and it's so amazing to me that the energy just keeps moving, and you guys just have grabbed it, I just love that, and it just makes me really happy. So thank you. Robin, you are not making a Marvel comic book. You are making a Bobby comic book. That's right. That's absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And with that, we can be done. So, thank you so much for spending some time with me and putting up with the shenanigans since yesterday. I don't know what the problem was. It never really seemed to make any sense. It just wouldn't work. And today, all of a sudden, it worked. So who knows? But I will be back again in a few days, and until then, we will play in the group. Robin, you get the booby prize today, and I will see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.